Football, 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 the game we love so much. Once again, welcome to a new Mad podcast where football talk gets real on every match preview, hot take, and reaction. We serve banter mixed with passion in analysis from local pitches to global stages. And if you're one of those who crave controversy, this is the kitchen where we cook and serves it best. So, make it your home for football talk that never pull back its punches. Alright, we got a couple of things to talk about. But before we go, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this content so we can grow this channel together. Let's get into it. Newcastle versus Liverpool. What a game. Drama, result, emotion. This is what we love, isn't it? Okay? So, Newcastle went a man down. Not just a man, but Anthony Gordon. Very good player. And they went down by 2 goals. And they came this close to at least snatch a point. Before we get to that, I don't know. We can disagree to agree. But I agree with the ref decision to send off Anthony Gordon, to upgrade the yellow card to a red card. Okay, let me know what you think in the comment section. But I think the ref is correct, as well as the decision by the VAR to review that. Having said that, Newcastle, you guys fought. That is all what the game is about. You showed resilience. So Liverpool, congratulations. If you're Liverpool, these are the type of games that you want to win. You want to come through as a big team, and you came through. You got that 3 points. When you struggle, when you don't play really good, get that 3 points. And that is what you did. To Newcastle, football is a beautiful game, but it can be sorrowful. We feel your sorrow and we share your pain. And it's not just us. Okay? I think Arsenal fans too. They can't deny this, but I do know they feel it too. They feel it too, because Liverpool could have dropped 2 points today, and they could hope that they were going to beat Liverpool and they can open up this 5-point lead earlier at this point of the season. So you guys are not alone, Newcastle, okay? It is what it is, but you're not alone. But on a serious note, good fight. You guys have a wonderful team. It's unfortunate you have the Isak situation going on, because I do believe personally, if Isak was in there, it could have been a different game. But it is what it is. You guys should try to fix it as soon as possible. I don't know how, but just work something out. If you guys going to trade him, trade him. If you guys going to keep him, keep him. But find a way to reach a solution amicably, where he's happy, his teammates are happy, the club is happy, and the fans are happy. So go Magpies. Now, let's get into the Real Oviedo versus Real Madrid game. So for starters, let's begin with the lineup. A completely different lineup where we saw 4 changes. And the most shocking one was Vinicius Jr. on the bench. So Rodrigo had the start ahead of Vini Jr. I don't know, it might be too early. I don't want to say anything. But if you are thinking he is having a little bit of tension with Xabi, I don't know. That is your thought. Okay? What I do know is perhaps Xabi decided to say, hey, I'm going to do a rotation here and there because we did not have enough time to prepare for preseason following the Club World Cup, and you guys went on holidays. I don't know. However, it could be alarming. Okay? Another big surprise was Franco Mastantuano. This kid. If you have been thinking this kid is a joke, I don't want you to think so anymore. Xabi trusted this kid to give him playing time in the first game against Osasuna, ahead of Rodrigo. Okay? And on Sunday, he started him ahead of Rodrigo as well. Ahead of Brahim Diaz as well. Okay? Now, you can make up anything you want to out of this, but I do believe that Xabi Alonso has higher expectation for this kid. And I don't think he's making a mistake because the kid is nice. He is really nice. He is nice to the point where I will say this. Lamine Yamal should be concerned. He should be looking over his shoulders for Franco Mastantuano. I can go as far as to say that. How soon is what I don't know. I can't tell. But he should be concerned about another young, prominent player over his shoulders. Take note of that. Let's get into it now for real, for real. So, Carval and Rudiger started ahead of Trent and Eder Militao respectively. I'm not really too surprised. It's not too shocking because I could tell Xabi wants to ease those guys back into playing because Militao had 2 injuries, from back-to-back seasons, and then Danny Carval missed almost the entire last season, right? So I believe he wants to give them playing time, like try to get everybody ready, up and going as the season progresses. So I feel like that could be the reason. So I'm not too really worried about Trent not starting or Militao not starting, right? But I do love the center back pair between Militao and Dinhausen. I feel like the ball progression is really good. But hey, I don't mind the starting level at all. And like I said against Osasuna, the team, the selection is good enough to win these games. It is Real Oviedo. No disrespect, but this team, they were in coma for like 25 years, right? They just got promotion back into top tier football. So, it should be a comfortable win. But again, they started 5 at the back, deep low block, and it's always difficult, to do, like to break this low block, right? And the thing I see that we continue to struggle with is our passing. We got to pass this ball as quick as possible and move into space. Like, it is something that we don't do often. In fact, what we do is, especially our attackers, that we go all the way to the feet of the midfielders to get the ball. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Why not just peel into the open space, allow the midfielders to do their job, advance the ball a little bit, and let them see your run, and then they can just make these passes, whether it's the through ball or the diagonal, But I believe they can thread the needle, especially at a Goulet. And a classic example was the Kylian Mbappe's first goal. Aurelien Tchouameni won the ball, and then, Goulet, thread that wonderful pass. And Mbappe just spin, and then that was a goal. That spin just gave him the space and the angle he needed to take a shot. And he did. And easy. That was a goal. You can argue whether, the tackle by Tchouameni should have been called a foul, right? And especially if you're a Barcelona fan, okay? I don't think it was. He got the ball, right? Like, it's a 50-50. Like, they were going for the ball, and he got the ball. But he got the ball, but he made contact with the player, right? And we're not just gonna say it's a foul because there's a contact. You know what I mean? It's a contact spot. So if you're getting the ball first, especially a 50-50 ball, and then and both players collided, I don't think that's a foul. And besides, prior to that point, I think we saw 2 holdings, right? One was on Franco Mastantuano, and the other one was on Antonio Rudiger, and they were not called. And Real Madrid fans will scream, "Oh, those 2, right? Like, should have been called." So they were not called as penalty, right? So it is what it is. I don't have problem with that at all. And also, again, on Kylian Mbappé, the second goal was classic also, right? You were occupying areas that are central. That is what I want to see you do more, Kylian. I don't like when you drift to the left or to the right and then you're just exchanging basic passes. Like passes that can be done by, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, against a team that is sitting, like deep, right? Like, you're not getting any result at all. So stay central. Allow your wingers to do their jobs. Allow the midfielders to do their jobs. Like make the game easier for them as well. I mean, that is not to say I understand as a striker you want to have the feel for the game. You want to get those touches, right? But you can get them in central areas as well. If you're gonna just go all the way to get a basic touch, I don't like that approach, right? And again, even the entire attacking line, you cannot just go for basic touches. I feel like you're wasting energy, right? And also you're not allowing the midfielders to play their game, right? Because you're going too close to just get a touch and a basic pass. It's not gonna work. And the team is sitting deep. It's not like they're gonna follow you guys out anyways. Like they don't care, right? So it's not gonna work. So what I want to see is when our midfielders on the ball, peel off into spaces. Okay, let them make the pass. My coach, shout out to Coach Puzzi, by the way, he always said the ball is faster than you, and that is true. You peel off, and then you're gonna get a pass. The ball is gonna meet you wherever you are, as long as the pass is good enough. So, Kylian Mbappé, please stay more central as much as possible. Okay, and now on Vini. We know Vini was going to come in anyways at some point in time. Obviously, he wasn't going to spend the entire 90 minutes on the bench. It's not possible. And when he came on, the game was a lot more stretched out. And I believe those are the type of games Vini loves. He thrives in those situations when the game is a little bit open up. So he came on, grabbed an assist, grabbed a goal, and of course the Vini special. With all emotions, okay? Anger, happiness, frustration, like everything else, he can give it to the ref, to his teammates, to the coaches, to the fans, everybody. Love it or hate it about Vini, but that is Vini, alright? So if he was angry because he was on the bench, I love it, because lately, like for the past 8 months, like he's been shaky, so whatever it takes that's gonna make him angry and give him that monster killer instinct mentality. Yes, I would love to see that. Okay. Finally, let me also touch on our defense. Now, Oviedo opened up, especially in the second half, right? And when they did, there were a couple of instances that was kind of alarming. There was this shot that hit the post. Okay, there was this one Thibaut Courtois had to give a strong left arm to make the save. There was another one, I think it deflected or something, but each time they had those opportunities, it was a little bit scary. Oh, there was this one also where, again, like I said earlier, the housing got two-handed. I mean, it could have been a peak. It could have been called, to be honest, actually. So it makes me think, like if we play better teams that are really going to be attacking us, right? Maybe they could really cause some scare, right? So I don't know. Or maybe also if they attack us more, then the game is more stretched, and then we have attackers that could really take advantage of that as well. I don't know, but maybe just like we can concede, versus teams that are playing, low block, or maybe open up to play mid block and maybe take more attacking risk, So I don't know, but either ways, I want to see this team against better teams, and no disrespect to Osasuna or Oviedo, but it's football. That's there are certainly more teams that are better than the others. So let me close with the situation at Manchester. So the noisy neighbors are quiet, and the noisy neighbors are also quiet. So there is absolute quietness in Manchester. Okay, we love that and we appreciate that, and that is what we need, because Manchester can be too loud. Why? They had this game against Arsenal, Manchester United, they were all over the place. Oh, we are back. We should have won this game, and rightfully so, they played well. I can't take that away from them. But yeah, we are back and all that type of stuff, and they couldn't get past Fulham. So so they're a little bit quiet, and we hope they could be, a lot more quieter. So let's see what happens. So until then, Peace out and stay blessed.